everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy almost Icon of the Seas. Thank you for joining us here as we talk about everything happening in the world of Royal Caribbean, but mostly Icon of the Seas. But glad to have you all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to answer as many questions as we can today, starting with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Have your countdown in chat. Let us count down together. I've just got, Brandy has a countdown. I'm sure Brandy's right. About 5 more days till my next cruise. Back on Icon of the Seas. Cannot wait. We'll talk a lot about Icon today, I am sure. We had some amazing super chatters even before the broadcast began. Thank you to our super chatters. You guys are amazing. Thank you. William Long writes, we'll be on Icon June 1st. We would like to take a small fan on board. Is this allowed? Yeah, my advice is bring a USB or a battery-powered fan. That's totally fine. No problem at all. Aaron Wolf has a super chat for us. And Aaron wrote, going on Allure February 5th. Didn't know you need to reserve tickets ahead of time for the Aqua Show, and they're all sold out. Is it possible? And if so, what is the best way to see without tickets? Yeah, it's actually pretty practical to go without a ticket. The tickets are just there as a mechanism, and you should if you can get them. But don't worry, Aaron. You can totally get them. See the show without the tickets. Basically, you want to get to the theater about 25 to 30 minutes before the show is slated to begin, and they'll allow standbys in there, and you'll probably be able to make it in if you get it in there. If you get in line, that is, that early. Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction Model Railroad, thank you for the super chat. Claude and Brenda, 139 days till Harmony, 523 and 531 till Independence in Europe. FYI, Maya Chan is no longer taking reservations June 1st through August 31st for hurricane season. First of all, thank you for the super chat. Second of all, yes, you're correct. Last year, they started doing this where Maya Chan closes for the summer. It's the slow season in the Caribbean anyway, so good for them. Some well-deserved time off. Brian Kelly, thank you for the super chat. 12 days till the inaugural Icon back-to-back. Any idea where the chef's table is located at? I have no idea. No, I did not see it when I was there for my 7 hours or so, Brian. So I'll have to look for that when I get back on board in 5 more days. Nicole Lombardi, thank you for the super chat. 69 days till Mariner of the Seas. Super excited. Kat DeRosa, thank you for the super chat. Kat, glad to have you here. Wisconsin Jason, thank you for the super chat. 26 days until Symphony of the Seas. I purchased the 3-night dining package. Can I reserve the restaurants now? I have to wait? Yeah, correct. With the dining package, you need to wait to actually make the reservations until you're on board the ship. Chris Stell, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Chris, 14 days till Independence. And since it's been single-digit temperatures here for the last few days, I can't wait. There is no better time of the year to go on a cruise than January and February. It's the coldest months of the year. Winter is kind of like, okay, been there, done that. I'm ready for a break now. So I'm with you on that. Yoink, thank you for the super chat. Yoink wrote, welcome back from your Icon trip. Thank you, Yoink. It's been a long couple days back at home. I've just had images of Central Park and the Aquadome in my head, but I'm excited to get back on board this weekend. Very, very excited for that. We got a lot of friends in the chat already. You guys are amazing. Brandy Schwab from MEI Travel. Welcome, Brandy. 5 more days till Icon of the Seas. I'll be seeing you on board the ship. Looking forward to seeing you there. Allison Shees from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Allison. It is good to see you as well. Next question. Lots of people. Warren C. in the house. Hello, Warren. Looking forward to seeing you. Not so much Mike Pastore, but you especially. Mark Pizzo is here. What's up, Mark? Shannon is here. Oh, man. We got all the crew in here. Love that. Let's see here. Pamela wants to know, does Oasis of the Seas do anything for Super Bowl? Yeah, there'll be different places to go watch the game around the ship, primarily in the Royal Theater. They have the game up on the big screen over there. There's snacks. So, yeah, they do some cool things in there. It's really nice for the Super Bowl. Jay Osteen. Jay, thank you for the super chat. Love your channel and your printer. When will they release the third, fourth quarter 2026 schedule for transatlantics? For the 3rd and 4th, 2026, not until next year, Jay. Primarily, when they're releasing cruises right now, we're talking about 2025 into early 2026, about April or so into 2026. So, Jay, you're looking for this cycle to repeat itself in the fall of this year, around November, December timeframe, give or take. Let's see here. Diz Quick Sounds. How do you feel Icon stacks up against Wonder? Is it the new favorite? I think it's too early to know. I mean, I was only on the ship for 7 hours. I ate at 2 restaurants, and they were both counter service. It's not quite, I haven't had enough time to really render a verdict. I like what I see, don't get me wrong. But I think to be fair, I've got to at least, like, I don't know, spend at least one night on board the ship, right? And so I'll have that over the next couple of weeks here. I'm doing a 3-nighter on the Icon of the Seas, and then the 7-night inaugural sailing. So by that point, I'll know the answer. But so far, very favorably. Essentially, the vibe I'm getting from Icon is that it is the next generation Royal Caribbean cruise ship. So there's some new ideas in there, and there's some existing ideas, but the existing ideas are clearly the next generation. It's a level up from what we've had before, and I love that. It's always what has attracted me to Royal Caribbean is the ability for these ships to continuously improve, get better, offer more to do, see, eat, experience, eat some more, visit, slide, eat a little bit more, have a nap, take another bite of food, and then experience something you've never done before. I love that about Royal Caribbean. So, but I'm not ready to name any new favorite ships quite yet. A little too early on that one. Let's see here. Loretta, it is good to see you. Your pictures and videos of Icon are amazing. My next cruise will be that one for sure. Awesome. Glad to hear. Randy Ruddle, hello. Dave, Dave, thank you for the super chat. 26 Days Till Adventure will be checking in for our back-to-back on Celebrity Beyond on that cruise. Is the check-in time for the second leg matter much for a back-to-back? No, because on a back-to-back, you're on the same ship. It has no bearing whatsoever at all, in fact. They won't care about it. It has no, it doesn't factor at all. So, let's see here. I see a lot of people coming up with, they've got cruises on Icon of the Sea. Chantra's got Icon. Luna has Icon. T.N. Mingle's got Icon. Diane's got Icon. KG's got Icon. I love this. So many folks in here. And of course, Becky Menken from MEI Travel. Can't wait to get back on Icon. Indeed. Gonna be awesome. Let's see here. Michael S. in the house. Good to see you here, Michael. Thank you for joining us. Michelle Taylor, thank you for the super chat. Michelle, I don't see a message from you. I'm looking for it, Michelle, but I do not see it, unfortunately, so I apologize. Kelly Scalar from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Kelly. It is good to see you as well. You guys are like breaking the chat tonight. I love that. Yeah, no, that's glad to have you guys all here. Does Icon leave from Miami? Yes, she's based in Miami. She'll be based in Miami for the foreseeable future through early 2026. Julie, thank you for the super chat. 26 Days Till Symphony, first cruise in 5 years, beyond ready. That is awesome. First cruise in 5 years. Holy moly. Andrew, debating on going to Wonder at Symphony, is there a big difference? Debatable. Not a big difference, Andrew, but there are differences, certainly. The entertainment, some of the restaurants, that's the most noticeable differences that are there. If all things being equal, if it was the same price, I would probably pick Wonder, just latest and greatest kind of thing. But obviously, because they have a ton of money going on Symphony, they go on Symphony. But really what I would look at, Andrew, is, okay, what restaurants does Wonder have? What restaurants does Symphony have? What shows? And kind of see what's important to you. Andrew, there isn't like a definitive answer. This is a very subjective question. You're talking about third and fourth level considerations. And that's the most important thing. Warren's got a maybe silly question. But I understand that Mariner will be like the perfect day when the Icon maiden voyage. Do you know if Hideway Beach will be open for both ships? I don't know. I guess the only answer to that question is whomever's booked on that Mariner cruise, can they book the Hideaway? Because obviously it's an admission thing, right? You have to purchase a pass there. I am not 100% sure if those people on that ship have access to it or not. I would imagine they would, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe Royal's like, hey, it's only the Icon Inaugural, and they have not put it on sale. But I would have to, without that information, I'm just not sure. Let's see here. Scooby Moto, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Royal Caribbean will offer short excursions to Blue Lagoon Island and Nassau before October? I don't know anything more than you do, but I gotta think so. I mean, listen, it's a terrible tragedy what happened there on that ferry. But it's already, I know that Blue Lagoon has already been cleared by the Bahamian officials there. It's such a major tourist attraction in the Bahamas. It's just hard to imagine they won't. So we'll have to see. Tim, thank you for this. And October's so far away. Tim, thank you for the super chat. 77 days till my first ever cruise on Voyager. Followed you since your days in WW Today. Wow. Becky, you hear that? Back in my day. Anything to know for sailing from Galveston? If you can, fly into Houston Hobby. You'll save about 15 to 20 minutes, if not more, in commute time between Houston and Galveston. I would definitely stay in the Strand neighborhood of Galveston. Seawall's nice, but there's a lot more to do in the Strand. And you're going on a cruise to a bunch of places with the beach anyway, so I think the seawall may be lost on you regardless of that. So yeah, if you want to save some money, Tim, on a hotel, you can stay in either League City or Texas City. There's some cheaper hotels on the other off the island, that is. Rich O from MEI Travel is here. Welcome. Donna, great videos on Icon. Look forward to more. We're going to have a lot more videos coming at you guys. Actually, tomorrow's video, believe it or not, has nothing to do with Icon of the Seas. But we thought it was a fun one to do, so we're doing it anyway. Cowboy Valley, I also thank you for the super chat again. I also ran across a ship named Shoreside in the casino host guide list. What? Wait, what? I also ran across a ship named Shoreside in the casino host guide list. Shoreside usually refers to people working over at Royal Caribbean headquarters. Like, if you work at headquarters, you work shoreside. If you work on board the ship, then you work on board, that is. I'm not sure what that means, but that's kind of my take on it. I'm not sure that they're going to name a ship Shoreside of the Seas. I think that might not be it. Let's see here. Michelle Taylor, thank you for the super chat, Michelle. Thank you for your very, very kind donation there. Yeah, Gabriella wants to know, our first cruise on Royal, we might book our next cruise, the Symphony. What's the major difference between those two ships? Essentially, the entertainment and the dining on board. We talked a little bit about that earlier in this video here already. But the entertainment, the shows you can see, the restaurants, more or less, that's the biggest stuff you're going to notice. Next question. Scott, if you book a studio room or an assigned stateroom and end up in a studio room, do you still get double points as a solo traveler? Book a studio room. If you book a studio, you don't get double points. That's one of the things with the studio room. So even though you're solo, those rooms are designed for solo travelers, so you don't get double points. Let's see here. Next question. Terry wants to know, what's the itinerary for your upcoming Icon cruise, the one in a few days? Oh, just perfect day and I think a sea day. I don't think there's anything else beyond that. I think it's sea day, CocoCay, back kind of thing. Let's see here. Next question. Blake Evans. Blake, thank you for the super chat. What's the best way to get from Orlando to Port Canaveral? I feel like that's a lot of typos right there. It's actually really easy. In my opinion, Lyft or Uber is the way to go. It's a ride share. It's simple. It's effective. It goes on your schedule. It's relatively affordable. That's what I would do. If you're like, whoa, if you're the Jen Green from MEI Travel type, who's very bougie and wants to have it all set up for you without any, thinking involved, and there's nothing wrong with that because I've done this before. Black Diamond Travel is fantastic. They're a car service, but you're going to pay a lot more for that. They're wonderful, but obviously it's a car service. But Lyft or Uber is what I would do. I think it's very, very simple to do that. The other service I want to mention is GoPort. They're very popular. I have not done them. But I believe Sherry from Cruise Tips TV tried them, and if Sherry tried them and liked them, that's all I ever need to hear. Unless it's about packing cubes. She's dead wrong about that, but right about everything else. Let's see here. Next question is from Lauren Lisko, one of our very good friends. Hello, Lauren. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the super chat. Is it worth eating dinner in Aruba instead of on the ship? We're there until 11. Yeah, that's what I would do and have done, in fact, Lauren. When I was on Odyssey of the Seas for Thanksgiving like 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago. We were in Aruba till like 11 and we did a resort pass. And we ate dinner over there. That's like, why cut your day short? Take advantage of it. That's the best thing about cruising, getting to explore these places and doing late night stops. I love that. So take advantage of that. Also, if you book Hideway Beach, does that guarantee you get chairs? Effectively, yes. I mean, I'm not sure they'll say that, but there should be enough chairs there that you shouldn't have a problem with that. It's limited capacity anyway, Lauren. So I'd imagine that would be the case. Let me put it this way, Lauren. If you're going to Hideway Beach, I would not worry about getting a chair. There would not be a concern I would have right there. T. Higgs, did you see the main dining room on Icon? Yes, I posted photos of it. over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. I think it's in our, I don't remember if it's in the video we did. Maybe that's why you haven't seen T Higgs. But yes, I have photos of it at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. In fact, the new blog post today, the newest post has a picture of it. It looks honestly very similar to the one on Wonder of the Seas. Very, very nice. Very, very pretty. Next question. Stephen Walker, what's your opinion on a smaller class of ship? Obviously, going on a smaller class, typically you're going to find lower price because probably if you're talking about a smaller ship, they're an older ship. Usually the price is a little bit lower. It's a little more manageable in terms of getting around the ship. There's less commute time, if you will, getting between cabins and where you're going on board the ship. But there's also less to do on a smaller ship. And they don't have all the whiz-bang features and amenities that bigger ships have. So there's pros and cons. Stephen, I've done both. I continue to do both. I don't limit myself to only big ships or only small ships. It's more about opportunity. Where do I want to go? What's my budget? Where do I want to sail out of? And if it works out, great. I mean, I love the Radiance class ships as an example. So just pointing that out there. There's pros and cons to everything in life, including cruise ship sizes. Let's see here. Cape Cod Ken, is the food in Playmakers and Bamboo Room all extra charge? Yes. Or some portion of it included in the Ultimate Dining Package? Playmakers is included in the Ultimate Dining Package with an a la carte $20 a day provision, but Bamboo Room is not. And honestly, Ken, when I've eaten that when Mariner first came out with the Bamboo Room, and I ate there I've probably eaten there 2 or 3 times now. I've never been impressed with the food at the Bamboo Room. It's okay. But I've never been like, hey, I really want to go get the food at the Bamboo Room, whether it was included or not, I gotta say. What do I think about Royal Caribbean moving the adults only from Cloud 17 to Hideway? Great question. So full disclosure, I am not a solarium guy to begin with. I was never an adult. Maybe because I got kids, but even without my kids, I rarely go in the solarium. It's not my thing. So I'm not necessarily the target audience here. That being said, I think the Hideaway is a better venue in the sense that it's an entire neighborhood as opposed to this I never knew how they were going to make this work. Cloud 17 was not a neighborhood. It was like a little subsection of Chill Island. So it didn't make sense to me how they were going to rope it off, if that makes sense. I think having an entire neighborhood is better. A pool on the back of the ship looks fantastic. And obviously we'll have to wait and see, Ashley, how it kind of works out in terms of the flow and everything like that. I will say the lack of shade there concerns me, but there was no shade anyway at Cloud 17. So, TR, thank you for the super chat. 18 days till Odyssey. Can I switch my one device internet plan between different devices room guests? Yes, absolutely. Raymond Weaver, thank you for the super chat. If you book an early check-in and your traveling companion has a later check-in time, can they get on board with you? Hashtag Team Printer Stand. Yeah, don't worry about that. I've done this many times, Ray, where I have an early time, my kids don't. Just put the early one on top. You'll be totally fine. Brooke, thank you for the super chat. Planning my wedding in May of 25. I have a friend who's a single cruiser. It's so much more expensive for them. Is there a way around that? Unfortunately, not. The only workaround, I do this all the time, is for your friend to book a fake second person. You're still going to pay more, but in a lot of cases, the cost with a fake second person is cheaper than booking it with just one person in the room because it's silly how Royal Caribbean's system works there. So, yeah. Can I purchase the drink package on board? Yes, but you shouldn't. It's going to cost you more money. Do it before the cruise. Adam, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you. I don't see a message from you, Adam, but I'll keep an eye out for that. Does Royal Caribbean do anything on ships for July 4th? Yeah, there's celebrations on there. There'll be decorations and special events, special drinks on there. So yeah. Let's see here. Boop. Does Icon have a solarium? It does not. Icon has an adults-only area called the Hideaway, but it's not the solarium. It's on the back of the ship, actually. Scary, was there a legit wow factor when you stepped on an Icon for the first time? The Pearl is undeniably wow. When you see it in person, it's 3 decks high, guys. It is a wow. That is fantastic. When I saw Thrill Island for the first time, the water park, I was like, wow, there's a lot of water slides here. So yeah. Does Icon have challah? That's a real question. I know on Shabbat they'll have challah on Friday nights. You might have to ask for it, but I believe they do provide that. I have seen it before. I just don't know like with any kind of regularity. But the Windjammer, or of course the main dining room, if you ask your head waiter, I'm sure they can provide that on Friday nights for you. Let's see here. Lizzie, do you plan on doing the Empire Supper Club? Heck yes. I have it booked along with Angie and Jenna over on the Inaugural sailing. So we're going to try it on the Inaugural cruise. Yep, absolutely. Is Icon using Starlink? Absolutely. Yes, they are. Let's see here. Tom wants to know, why do cruises open booking 2 years? Hotels and flights only book 330 days ahead of time. Well, booking a cruise and booking hotels and flights are different animals altogether. It's different dynamics. You're right. There is a difference there in terms of how they're booked up. But people don't plan necessarily flights or hotels that far out. But for a cruise, there is much more of a need for it. It's partially, Tom, it's based on demand. There's enough demand to make it worthwhile. It's not like they're just putting them out there and no one's booking it up. Plenty of people do. So it's mostly responding to the market, I think, more than anything. If they were putting them out, 2 years in advance and no one was booking them up, they probably wouldn't do that. But I think it really still holds up, quite frankly. Hey, Charles, thank you for the super chat. 4 days till Navigator, back to back to back, doing the trifecta, 7, 3, and 4. Nice, dude. That's great. It's good to be Diamond Plus in a suite. Dude, enjoy that. That's a great itinerary right there. I love that. You get a drink there. Janelle, is the Asian cuisine Izumi on board Symphony safe for someone who has nut allergies? Yes. Janelle, when you sit down, the first question they're going to ask you is, does anybody have any allergies? They're very, 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 very good about allergies on Royal Caribbean. Scott, will you be able to post your review of Hideway before February 2nd? Maybe. We have the beach bed, or not, whatever, the pool bed, whatever you want to call it, booked for the Inaugural. But I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get that article out during the cruise or afterwards, but we'll try our best to do so. Richard booked masks in June. I think that's the typo there. At a Seattle hotel for a decent price. Any recommendations? I'm going to defer to Becky Menken from MEI Travel for a good hotel, like not the Edgewater. I know you love that hotel. What's like a mid-grade, like good, clean, safe hotel kind of thing? Richard, something else I would do besides, and Becky will get you an answer in the chat. Something else I would recommend doing in that kind of situation where you just I want affordable, I want clean, and I want safe, reasonable. I do the Priceline Express deals. Do 4 stars or higher, you're probably not going to get a dud. And that's worked out pretty darn well. Jonathan, everybody from MEI Travel is here. Not only is this is an accurate statement, but we love our travel agent friends here who join us here each and every week, our partners here. Fantastic. Caleb, do you cruise other lines outside of Royal Caribbean? I went on celebrity cruises twice in 2023, but generally I just cruise with Royal Caribbean. Next question. Chris, do you see the viral picture of Wonder and Icon side by side, which appears to show Icon listening to the port? Guys, if you've been to CocoCay, have you ever seen the ships sway back and forth a little bit because of waves? I think it's just a lot of people on Facebook just picking apart a one-off photo there. I'm not reading anything into that, and neither should you. Blake, thank you for the super chat. I did answer your question already, but Lyft or Uber would be what I would recommend to get from Orlando to Port Canaveral. Black Diamond travel is fantastic as well, whichever kind of works for you. But if it were me, Lyft or Uber is the way to go. Let's see here. Mrs. Tom decided to move our April 25 cruise to early March and we'll save $1,000. Nice. Love that. Next question. Andy and Cheryl. 27 days till 6 nights on Odyssey. Thank you, Kelly Hardy at MEI. Nice. Nigel, thank you for the super chat. I've been cruising on Royal Caribbean and Disney my whole life with my family. I'm taking my girlfriend on our first ever cruise in 2 weeks. Oasis. Nice. You're gonna have a great time. I hope she will love cruising and Royal Caribbean as much as you do. Intrigued viewer, do you think Icon ships will ever depart from Cape Liberty? Ever is a really strong word. So I would say yes, but I'm not sure that means like anytime soon. But ever, if the Oasis class can, I have no doubt the Icon class can as well. Let's see here. Next question. Craig Hart from Navigator of the Seas. Hello, Craig. Good to see you. Welcome. Let's see here. Tommy Quinn, thank you for the super chat. What to do in Grenada? I've never been there. Chat, I need your help on this one. What is your favorite? If you've been to Grenada before, hello Mutta, hello Fada. Here I am at Camp Grenada. Why I thought of that and decided to sing, I don't know. Anyway, if you have any good suggestions of what to do in Grenada, Chantel recommends the rum tour, Tommy. But please type your suggestions in chat here for Tommy. Yvonne, will I be on Icon? Absolutely, yes, I will be there. E. Jones, this is for the Icon Live the other day. Got me re-excited about our Icon cruise. I'm so glad to hear that. That was an awesome live. And when I get back on Icon of the Seas again, we're going to do another walk around live there for sure. Maybe what I'll do is I'll have Becky Mangan from MEI Travel hold all my gear, hold the camera, and she can do all the work. And I'm just going to sit there and I'll have a little drink, a little cocktail, and I'll narrate it with a little fan. And she can hold the rig this time. I think that'll be fair. That's how you get your partners involved in all of this, right? What are some tips for getting a seat by the pool on a sea day? Really, there's one tip, and that is you got to get up early. Not like 7 a.m. early, but before 9 a.m. would be your best bet for sure. If you're up before 9, you're going to get a seat there. Otherwise, you can wait till like 4 o'clock. A lot of people start leaving by that point. Let's see here. New and old Funko Pops. Can you please explain the crystal plaques leaving your room when you reach 170 points or whatever? Yeah. So basically, once you reach a certain threshold, every 70 points, whatever ship you're on for that 70 points, you get a crystal block. And essentially, it's a thank you for cruising with Royal Caribbean. So the more you cruise, the more you got over there. Let's see here. Jonathan Pace from MEI Travel. Thank you for the super chat. No question, but thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support. Your generosity means a lot. Yoink, thank you again for your super chat. Again, you were great on the news. Was it nerve-wracking? No, actually not. When you're on the news like that on the spot, and thank you. I was on was it WPLG? It's the affiliate station down in South Florida. You can't see the audience, just the camera in front of you, which I'm used to because I talk in front of the camera all the time. So no, it was actually came very naturally. I was more surprised I was that eloquent with my wording, considering it was like I'd been up since like 6 o'clock in the morning and I was tired. But no, it was great. Listen, it's only nerve-wracking if I got to talk about things I don't know. But talking about cruising, man, I can turn that on anytime. You want to talk about something else? I ain't got much else to talk about. Justin, is booking a cruise as a gift difficult? By that I mean, do you have to make them an account? You don't have to make them an account, but it is difficult in the sense that you need certain information, and they could easily discover they're going on a cruise if they looked in the right place. I'm not sure. At some point, you got to tell them, right? If your goal is, I want to surprise them to the point where day of the cruise, they still have no idea. You don't have to do the Crown and Anchor stuff. That's secondary. If they're staying in the same cabin as you, it's very easy. If they're not staying in the same cabin as you, that can be more difficult because there are certain things you have to do, like check in and whatnot. But if they have no idea and you're just booking a room for them and you're in that same cabin, I would say it's fairly simple as long as they don't, check their account or anything like that. But yeah. Scooby Moto, thank you for the super chat. Are there junior suites with obstructed views on Symphony? I was considering the rail up front my balcony, but don't want to lose the view. I am not certain. I remember staying in a junior suite on Freedom of the Seas that did have an obstructed view. It was one of the new suites they added up on deck 12. That's on Freedom, not Symphony. I'm not 100% sure, Scooby Moto. I would have to defer to either a travel agent or you'd have to check the deck plans. I wish I could give you a better answer on that, but I don't know off the top of my head. Let's see here. Next question. Big Guy, thank you for the super chat. 21 days till back-to-back on Wonder and New Year's Eve on Icon. Dude, that is an awesome game plan right there. Thanks for all you do. Thank you very much, Big Guy. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. James, what are your thoughts on Royal Caribbean producing a brand new smaller ship? I love it. I think the Radiance and the Vision class they're dated now. I mean, compared to the rest of the fleet, they just don't hold up in terms of experience. But I think the new smaller ship is not going to be a 3,000 passenger vessel. I think it's going to be 4,000 passengers at lowest. So it's going to be smaller relative to Oasis and Icon, not necessarily the second coming of like Majesty of the Seas by any means. Mark, Mariner does have Hideway Beach in their cruise planner for the same day as Icon, but it's sold out. Well, I'm not surprised it's sold out. That is, thank you, Mark, for confirming that for us. So, Warren, there's your answer right there. Next question, David McDowell. David, thank you for the super chat. Best way for 5 people to get from Fort Lauderdale to Port Miami, Uber. Yeah, Uber. Just make sure when you do it, David, do the Uber XL, so you get the SUV, because you're gonna need the space for not only the people but the luggage. But yeah, definitely the way to go right there. Jennifer Kell from MEI Travel is here. I'm a Solarium girl, but excited to see the Hideway and Icon. I think you're gonna like it. It's a really, really nice space there. Wendy, will there be special events and entertainment on the inaugural Icon cruise? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm anticipating there will be. Chief among them, the Warren C meetup. But besides that, I'm sure there'll be certain swag and certain executives on there. So I'll have to wait and see on that. But I don't know exactly what to expect. Chad, thank you for the super chat. Hey Matt, love your Icon content. Thank you. So excited to sail 181 days. I noticed there isn't a jumbo screen like on most royal ships. Did I miss it? I was thinking the same thing when we were on there. I was asking Allie. I was like, we had a conversation about this. Like, did you see the movie screen? And she did not. It could be like going like, remember when the Oasis class didn't have them? Some of them don't. They do that in the Aqua Theater. I was wondering if they were going to do it over there, but I did not see one. So it's not you, Chad. But remember, when I was on Icon, they were still setting things up there. I kind of doubt a TV screen, like a giant movie screen, is not going to be just out of the box. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. Dave, your shelf has me wondering what else does it say on that yellow celebrity arrow pointing to the ceiling? It's a bottle of champagne in there. I forget the name. Is it Veuve Clicquot? And it says Reims 7472 kilometers. It's like a sign. It's like a street sign. Like Reims is that way. The Teresa McShane, thank you for the super chat. I'm not liking our sub-zero temperatures. Icon Inaugural can't get here fast enough. You hear that, Tony? Icon Inaugural can't get here fast enough. Teresa, thank you as always for your generosity. Appreciate you. I see Fox Rolenza from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Fox. Good to see you as well. Hopefully, Jen's bouginess has not rubbed off on you too much today. Hope all is well. Will Cruz, thank you for the super chat. Wow, you guys, the chat is blowing up today. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. I noticed that in March, Harmony is leaving Galveston and going to Spain. Do you know what ship will be replacing Harmony? Not yet. We'll have to wait and see on that. We don't know yet. I believe we don't know what that'll be. Next question is from Justin. Justin, thank you for the super chat. My girlfriend and I just went on our first cruise on Symphony last week. Your videos were so helpful on our trip. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. We would have been confused about so much. Thanks for all you do. You are very welcome. I am so glad to hear that all the stuff I talk about actually helped out. That's fantastic. Does Icon have a big buffet? They do. They actually have 2 buffets. They have the Windjammer and Surfside Bites. That's a family one there. So yeah. Cloud 17 is no longer adult only area. Correct. They changed the adult only area from Cloud 17 to the Hideaway. Next question. Shane, is Hideway Beach going to be free for Icon Inaugural sailings? No. You don't see it on there, Shane, because it's sold out. But no, will not be free. You need admission in order to get in there. Christine, is the Royal Caribbean Blog Group Cruise still happening? I've heard much mention of it. Yeah, we've got one in June on Icon of the Seas, and then again in December on Voyager of the Seas. More information about it at royalcaribbeanblog.com/event. But absolutely, Christine, it's happening no matter what. Becky is going, I could fall over and die tomorrow. She will drag my corpse over on that cruise, sit me down in the pub. Be like, look, Matt is here. He made it. Yes, definitely happening, 100%. Good Tea, nice house. I love the name. Thank you for the super chat. 3rd Icon class cruise ship should be called Legend of the Seas. No harm in reusing an old name. Enterprise A, B, C, D, and E, right? I don't disagree with you. I like that idea. I don't know. I know Carnival has started reusing some of their old ship names. I would love for Legend and Empress and Splendor to come back. I think it's a great idea. I love that. Next question. Moving forward, maybe doing our first cruise ever in the spring. Number 1, book with a good travel agent. You want to do that. Number 2, book as early as possible. So if you're looking for, like, when you say spring, if you mean like 3 months from now, something like that, I would book like right now, because prices are going to only be going up from now. Typically, most people book cruises for 9, 12 months ahead of time. That isn't to say you still can't book it, but prices are only going to go up. Inventory will only go down. So you want to book sooner than later. Reach out to a good travel agent. Let them help you out with that one. Ron Ladowski. Ron, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Bills win. Oh, 114 days on my next Royal Caribbean cruise. There you go. Bills Mafia, very, very happy about that. Greg Donkey, thank you for the super chat. Greg, 117 days till Icon. What do you think of the destination elevators? What if you change your mind when you're out inside? If you change your mind when you're inside, you just go for a ride, get off at the elevator, wherever you want to go, and then choose a new floor. The first 2 or 3 times I did, I would go there. I went inside the elevator. I turned around to go push a button. I'm like, oh yeah, I already did that already. It takes a little getting used to. It's very easy. The biggest thing is, number one, when you go to the panel and select your floor, remembering what the letter is that you're waiting for. I did that at least once or twice where I hit the button. It says, okay, your elevator is J. And then I'm like, I check my phone or something. And then I'm like, wait a minute, what elevator was mine? Now, this was easy because there was no one on the ship, but you got to remember that. Number 2 is getting out of the habit of immediately getting in the elevator, turning around and looking for your floor. And you can't do that. But after about 2 times, dude, it's really simple. It's just old habits about, you're so used to turning around in that room in the elevator and looking to book your floor. But obviously, if you decide change your mind, you got to get out the next floor and, hit the button for the next one. The hope is that these destination elevators will be more efficient. Less of this hey, this is stopping on every single floor kind of situation. Anthony, what other cruises will I be on Icon? I'm on Icon this week, the Inaugural, and then the Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise in June. That's about it at this point. What are some must-pack items for a cruise? Hat, sunglasses, underwear. That not underrated. I think that's a really good idea. Sunscreen. A bag to bring around in port is really helpful. We have a lot more stuff than that over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com with what to pack over there. Hotel recommendations for Port Canaveral. Home 2 Suites is really great. I stayed there every last couple times. I love it. Home, the number 2 Suites is fantastic. What do you recommend eating on Oasis? I mean, just a one-time can't miss meal. Izumi Hibachi. Izumi Hibachi is the way to go right there. Next question. Dave is offering to buy me a beer at the pub if he sees me on the Inaugural. Dave, I got good news for you. I'm usually in the pub at night, so when the pub singer's there you go. Eric, is it fair to consider Icon a CocoCay at sea? I know where you're going with this. If you want to, I think it's honestly, I get it's got a water park on the top of the ship. But there are water slides on Oasis class ships. There's pools on Oasis class ships. I don't think it's dramatically different experience to the point where you're going with this analogy, unless you also consider the Oasis class CocoCay at sea. Then I would say, okay. Also, I think Royal Caribbean would say, listen, we're trying to make this more of a ubiquitous experience. And I think it's by design to some extent. So, sort of, yes, kind of, maybe. I'm not sure, but possibly. Shakita, thank you for the super chat. Matt, do you recommend booking directly through a Royal Caribbean or a travel agent? Oh. Me. Travel agent. Next question is for NYC Lover for life. Is the all access pass on Wonder worth it? It can be. Let me put it this way. When you look at the places you're going, the ship's bridge, the galley, the engine room, if seeing those places sounds really interesting to you, then yes, it's worth every penny of it. But some people might say, oh my God, that sounds super boring. Then obviously not. But if it sounds interesting to you, then yes, it is worth the cost. Henri, thank you for the super chat. Going on my first cruise, my boyfriend was considering the deluxe drink package, but I can't drink. Will they still make me pay for the package too? If you're staying in the same cabin, yes, but there's a little bit of a trick you can do here. Call Royal Caribbean, tell them what you want to do. They will allow you to buy the less expensive Royal Refreshment package and save a little bit of money in that regard. Bishop family, I know Mariner is one of your favorite ships. I'll be on it in 10 days. Any suggestions on must-dos? Oh, man. The Bamboo Room, get a drink over there. Go out to the helipad for Sail Away. The shows in the main theater are fantastic. And the ice skating show actually is one of my favorites. See the ice skating show on Mariner. It's really, really good. Let's see here. Next question is from MMJ. Will they let you take pictures of the suites on Icon? Yeah, typically when we go on this cruise coming up, this 3-night preview cruise, they have the suites open for photography, specifically for this purpose. Yes, I actually already have a bunch of the suites photographed. I gotta publish. We have so much Icon content sitting in the backlog right now because I can't just post it all at once. It'll be way too much. It'll be overwhelming. But the answer is yes, and we will post photos of the suites. Not to worry, we're working on there. Becky Menken says, I think she wants to hold up all my camera gear. That's fantastic. Thank you, Becky. Next question. TJ, for the Broadway shows they have on board, are they full length or abbreviated? They are all full length, I think with the exception of Cats. I believe Cats is abbreviated, but Mamma Mia, Hairspray, We Will Rock You, they are the full length shows. Smokey Bandit in the house. Welcome. Where can I find this clip of you on the news? Can someone in the chat post the link to the news? There's a YouTube video out there from WPLJ. If someone can post the link in there. Loretta, thank you for the super chat. What was your favorite thing on Icon? Oh boy. The Aquadome. I love the Aquadome. It's beautiful. I would love to spend more time in there. Really and truly, I had a great time. It's a great area. Between the Aqua Theater, the Overlook, and the Aquadome Market. Oh man. I'm just going to be eating a lot of those. You'll find me in the Aquadome Market eating a lot in there. It's so good. What will entertain my 10-year-old child except for the Kids Club on Symphony? If I can recommend Tony Diaz, he's in our chat. He's a great babysitter. But otherwise, honestly, I mean, you got the pool. There's water slides. There's entertainment. Besides Adventure Ocean, there are different activities for kids. There's movies being shown all around the ship. So keep an eye out on the cruise planner. Jen, you can look at a past cruise compass over at royalcaribbeanblog.com. We keep an archive of them over there. And what's cool about that is it gives you a really good idea of what to expect. And I think you're going to see there are a lot of different things for your kids to keep them busy over there. So, yeah. Cruiser Pam, my fiance and I, would like to get married on an Icon. Do you have any suggestions on how to start the process? Number 1, work with a good travel agent. And then number 2, reach out to Royal Caribbean's wedding department. And obviously start off the planning as early as you can. That's super duper important over there. Debbie, how is it meeting Rover? Can both people in the cabin bring a 12-pack of pop? Yes, no, it's 12-pack per cabin. And meeting Rover, the family dog on Icon was awesome. I didn't think I was going to see her. And then on my way out, she was there. And it was pretty incredible. Very, very cute. Very well trained also. Holy moly. Kevin, thank you for the super chat. I tune in weekly, and though I'm one who teases you about the printer, I appreciate everything you do. I also love Royal Caribbean Blog. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Jason, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I don't see a message from you here, Jason. But thank you for your generosity, friend. Appreciate you. Lauren Lisco. Lauren, thank you for the super chat. What's the Aruba resort pass you'd recommend? Oh, the Riu Palace. Is that it? I think that's the one. I would definitely recommend that. I did a review of it. Hold on a second. Which one is it? Odyssey, Live Blog, Aruba. This is why I write everything down on the blog. It was blah, 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 blah. Riu Palace. Riu Palace, 3resortforaday.com. Loved it there. It's great. Next question is from... Does Icon of the Seas really have a zoo on board? No. There's a I know you're on Surfside, there's like a plastic or whatever the material is, giraffe, but that's about it. And there's a carousel which has, again, very, very fake animals on there. Is there any details on what's coming up after the Icon class? Nope. Royal Caribbean has not announced anything to that point. So, nope. Hang on, guys. Oh, we're good. Why no mason jar and icon? Seems like Royal Caribbean's cool new toy. No, I would have agreed. I was actually thinking about this earlier today, Mike. How the heck did Hooked get on Icon of the Seas? Guys, listen. I'm not the world. I don't really like Hooked, but I'm going to go on a limb here that Hooked is not winning any popularity contest among cruisers. Am I crazy on that? Like, would you guys rather have Hooked or Mason Jar, or Hooked or almost any other restaurant? I was really surprised by that, quite frankly. So I'm as surprised by as you are, Mike, on that one. Next question is from John and Liz. How much is it going to take to see you get on the flowrider? It's never going to happen. Number one, I have no coordination. Number two, I have no desire. Number three, I have no coordination. Number four, I like the feeling in my face. So I'm just have no interest in it whatsoever. And Whipple, and thank you for the super chat. 109 days till Mariner. Please tell the viewers to go to use GoPort when applicable. We're from Colorado, using Orlando. So convenient. Ask Travel Agent to make transfers for you. There you go. Like I said, I've heard very good things about that. Jeremy, when they move the adult area on Icon to Hideway, did they also move the smoking area? I don't believe so. I don't think anything has changed in regards to that. I could be wrong, but I'm not aware of any change related to the location of the smoking area on the pool deck. Are 3 Icon class cruise ships in such a short amount of time excessive? No, this is pretty typical, actually, Tom. Remember, when the Oasis class came out, you had Oasis and Allure coming out like within a year and two of each other. If you go back to the Voyager and the Freedom class ships, they came out bam, 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 bam. It's pretty typical. So no, that's probably good business, quite frankly. Just dominate the market. Next question: are smoothies at Vitality Cafe included? Yes, if they don't contain protein powder. Next question is from. I'm so far behind the chat. Holy smokes. Cruiser Pam, thank you for the super chat. My fiance and I would like to get married in a Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. And it's just how to start. Yeah, so Pam, I don't know if I answered this for you or somebody else, but work with a good travel agent and reach out to Royal Caribbean's weddings department. There's a specific weddings department to go through, and that's the way. Now, there's one way around it. If you want to get married, like if you want the ceremony on the ship, you have to go through Royal Caribbean's weddings. The other thing you could do is get married on port. Then you can bypass Royal Caribbean, and do that on a port day. That is also possible. Is the water park at CocoCay worth it? I enjoyed it. We were just there when I was at CocoCay on Mariner of the Seas, and if you get it for the right price, I think it's fantastic. Hey, Lindy from MEI Travel. I love the destination elevators. It's a great idea. It just requires some forethought. It's just getting used to it more than anything, but I think it's totally fine. There are no floor indicators inside the elevators. No, there are, but you can't change your floor inside the elevators. When you get in there, you'll see. Okay, we're going to decks 4, 7, and 15. You'll see that over there. You'll see on the top, what's on what deck. But once you're in the elevator, you cannot change which. You can't be like, oh, I really want to go to deck 9. That's not a thing right there. Moving forward, how does the internet work on a ship? Is it worth the purchase? And can I connect without tech support and waiting long lines? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. If you buy before the cruise, it's really simple. You basically get on board the ship, connect to the Wi-Fi. You got a screen that pops up. You put in there, all right, create an account because it's your first time, and it automatically detects that you booked one. There's no charge for it, and you're good to go. It's pretty simple, I think. I've used it a bunch of times, but it works really well at Starlink. In the grand scheme of satellite internet, I think it works really, really well. Larry, I'm looking forward to meeting you and all our friends on board the Icon Inaugural. It's going to be awesome. Let's see here. Next question. From Royal Caribbean fan, do you think Royal Caribbean will ever build a bigger class? Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, did we ever think that we're going to build a bigger class after Oasis? I mean, probably. I think the answer is probably yeah. Don't know that for a fact, but. Will Icon still remain the biggest ship once Utopia of the Seas rolls out? Yes, Utopia is not bigger than Icon, so yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Melbourne Shorts. Good morning. Is that G'day, Melbourne, or like Melbourne, Florida? Anyway, welcome. Glad to have. Since you're saying good morning, I'm pretty sure it's a G'day, mate. Glad to have you here. Welcome. Next question is from man. So many great. I'm only saying because I'm trying to catch up on the chat. I'm so far behind. Is the water park on Icon including your cruise ferry? Yes, absolutely. Next question. Scooby Moto, thank you for the super chat. It's cheaper to just book the internet for me with two devices, one for me and one for my fiance, than it is to book two people with one device. Is that allowed? Yes, absolutely. You can share the internet package. You cannot share the drink package. So totally fine. Yeah, you're doing the right thing right there. Absolutely. Is there a concern with the noise bleeding into other music venues on the promenade on Icon? Actually, that's by design, Jason. When I went to Royal Caribbean headquarters a couple months ago, and Royal Caribbean was telling me about the promenade, and I noticed that I'm like, you've got all these venues, and you purposely knocked out the walls. Aren't you worried about noise bleed? And they said, we're not worried. We want it to be like that. Not that they want noise bleed. They want energy. They want people to like have more music around you. We'll have to wait and see, Jason. Obviously, I've not experienced it, um, but this is by design. Hey, Zach, thank you for the super chat. First time leaving Miami, any tips that you sell out of Canaveral? What do you like better? Well, since I live in Orlando, I prefer Canaveral because it's more convenient. But Miami is a very pretty sailaway, so definitely go see it for get up on a high deck so you can see all the beautiful scenery around you. By scenery, I mean the really pretty buildings and whatnot. But otherwise, if you can, Lyft or Uber is the way to go in Miami, or car service of some kind, because the parking situation is a little limited there. Although Terminal A is pretty good. Going out of Terminal A is fantastic. Going out of Terminal G is not as good. Kind of like Terminal 1 versus Terminal 5 over in Port Canaveral. But they're more similar than they're not, Zach. It used to be a lot different, but now they're pretty much the same. Rita, hello. Eric Strait, we're going to have a Genie on Quantum in May. What should we have them do for us? What is proper tips for genies? Both of your questions are great questions, and both of your questions have no definitive answer. What should you have the genies do for you? Ask. I mean, that's the bottom line. But I would say at the very least, have them deliver Starbucks to your cabin every morning. That's included, and they can do that for you. Obviously, have them arrange all your dining. I think you already knew that one. But, ask them for really everything to make your life a little bit easier, saving yourself in lines. If you're like in a situation where the elevators are going to be busy, ask your genie to get you an elevator. Seems excessive, seems ridiculous, but you're paying for it. So take advantage of it. And what's a proper tip? Eric, I've seen numbers all over the place. There is not a right or wrong answer. The bottom line is a tip is very generous, and they'll appreciate whatever they can get. So don't overthink it. Scary, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Thanks for all you do. Really loving the Icon content. And 12 days is going to take forever to get here. Rich, thank you so much for your generosity and your support. Rich, like so many, we have so many great folks in our chat, including Rich, of course, but you guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad to hear you're enjoying all this stuff right there. Donna, to do a super chat, all you have to do is if you're on, I'm not sure where you're on, but right by where you're typing your message, there should be a little dollar symbol. You click on that, and that's all you need to do from there. Not required, by the way, just an option that's there. Diamond Dave Grossi. Dave, thank you for the super chat. Dave wrote, 3 days till Anthem, 48 days till Harmony. How do the Ice Show, Aqua Show, and Broadway Show and Harmony compare to Oasis and Symphony? That's a very subjective question, Dave. You're basically, it's like asking, how does this movie compare to that movie? They're different shows. There's pros and cons. I like the Aqua Show best on Oasis. The Aqua 80s, I think, is fantastic, but that's personal preference. I like 80s music. I'm trying to give a better answer for you, Dave, but honestly, it's just they're all great for their own different reasons. So yeah. Jay, how much larger does Absolute Zero feel? Great question. I didn't get a chance to go in there. They were doing a meeting in there all day. So if you saw Jay, and I'm pretty sure you saw it already in our Icon tour, Allie snuck in there. I was not. There were executives up the wazoo. I cannot sneak in there, but Allie got in there, got a little bit of video footage. From her video footage, it looked bigger, but I wasn't able to actually get the sense of it, especially seeing it for a show, Jay. So ask me again next week, and I'll have an answer for you. I hope. Let's see here. Next question. Chris, how does Adventure Ocean Kids Club accommodate the thousands of kids on board? First of all, there's rarely thousands. At the most, I think on most cruises, there's mainly 1,000. I think that's like a high number. Mostly they're in the hundreds. Number two, most kids don't go to Adventure Ocean. You'd be surprised how few kids actually go there. And number three, if they were truly, there is capacity. And if that were the case, they would reach that capacity. It's a first come, first serve basis. But um, roller Caribbean cruise ships don't have thousands of kids on board. Like I said, I would say a very like spring break, Christmas, summer, you'd have close to 1,000 on an Oasis class ship. Um, More often, it's probably closer on a 7 night cruise anyway. It'd be closer to like maybe a couple like 700 or so on a low, like on a very unpopular time of year, like this time of year. It might be closer to like 300 or so. But again, kids can encompass many different age groups there as well because teenagers are included in that. And again, most don't go in there, so it ends up in practice working out quite well actually. Biggest letdown on Icon you noticed? I had to get off the ship after 7 hours. I was just getting used to it, man. Did Icon do solo cabins? They did not. I read that they're building 3 Icon class cruise ships. Correct. Will they all be identical? No. They'll be very similar to the Oasis class in the sense that they'll have different features and amenities. Structurally, obviously the same, but there will be subtle differences between each of the three. They're not going to be. It's not like Virgin Voyages that just copies their ships and there's no differentiation. That's not Royal Caribbean style. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. I'll be going on Icon in May. Is there a running track on Icon? There is. I just don't know. I don't know off the top of my head where it is. You have to look at the deck plan. Does anyone know off the top of their head what deck the running track is? I just didn't remember seeing it, but I wasn't looking for it. There were so many cool things to see over there. So yeah. Let's see here. Izumi a la carte or no? Izumi sushi is a la carte. Izumi hibachi is not. That answers your question there. Stephen Roberts loves Hooked. Really? What is Mason Jar? Mason Jar is a Southern American restaurant that's available on Wonder of the Seas only. Yeah, a lot of people love Mason Jar here, and listen. We got Jackie loves Mason Jar. Becky loves Mason Jar. Teresa says I love seafood and would take Mason Jar or 150 over Hooked. I'd agree on that as well. Mason Jar all day long. I agree with Nick. 150 with Central Park over most specialty restaurants. That is fantastic. Big guy, does the dog just wander all over, or does it have a handler? As a handler, as the chief dog officer, her name is Allison, and she takes care of the dog. Yeah, no, the dog doesn't just roam all around. Clayton, is it possible that sold out excursions to be available on board? Yes, it has happened. I can't promise you that it will happen for you, but it definitely can happen. So yeah. What's the best area to stay in? Whichever you can afford without breaking the bank. There's pros and cons to every cabin out there, even inside rooms. Vivi, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the Icon sneak peek. So looking forward to cruising on Icon. You are very welcome. Audrey, thank you for the super chat. Input on excursions to Jamaica. I have done every tour I've done in Jamaica. I've hated. Blue Hole. If I was going to do one of those, I would do Blue Hole. It takes a while to get there, but it's by far a very beautiful spot. I think the biggest knock on it is just very, very far away. But I have yet, Audrey, to find a really good tour that I love in Jamaica, but I've not done Blue Hole, and that's what I would like to try at some point. Warren, since you mentioned all the specialty restaurants, I'm looking forward to the new steak venue at Chop Square. The menu, I think. Yeah, that sounds awesome, dude. How do I find a good travel agent for my next cruise? Word of mouth is the best way. You talk to somebody, talk to like your friend Tony Diaz or Teresa, and you're like, yeah, listen, I use MEI Travel and they're fantastic. Like word of mouth is really the way to go right there. You want to hear people telling you, I use them, they're great. Can they get me a lower down payment amount? No, that's a Royal Caribbean policy. So there's no way around that. Let's see here. Do you know if ships change local time when at ports? It depends on the captain. So sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Captain will let you know what the case is. Let's see. Is there a casino on Icon? Yes, there's a casino on Icon. Not to worry, my friend. Chris, do you think the ship will feel crowded at full capacity given its layout and floor space? No, actually, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know for a fact, Chris, but that was probably one of the biggest surprises going on Icon was how much space there is, how much competing things there are to do. My early take on it, and we'll see if this is true, is that crowds are going to be well dispersed, given how much there is to do, how many different things there are to do all around the ship. It seems like they've really thought that out quite well. What roller coaster ship have you sailed on the most? Oh, Mariner of the Seas. Mariner by far. Also saw you on a news video interview on YouTube the other day. Icon sailed in Miami. Yeah, that was fantastic. That was awesome. I'm so glad you got a chance to see that, and that was a very, very nice of them to interview me over there. Next question, Mrs. Thomas. Thank you for the super chat. Just a shout out to the Roller Coaster Blog message board friends who answer all of my crazy questions. You're fabulous. We have an amazing, amazing community, not only here on YouTube, but also on the message boards as well. You are not wrong. Car Wash Channel, thank you for the super chat. I have two questions. One, is there a casino on Icon? Yes. Two, is Guinness World Record going to certify Icon the world's largest cruise ship and longest? I imagine so. I don't know how that works. It's actually a really interesting question. But I can't imagine they wouldn't. So probably. The answers to your questions are yes and probably. Next question is from what terminal will Icon use in Miami? Terminal A. Terminal A. Next question. Loretta, thank you so much for the very kind words. I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Matt Travis, great name. Thank you for the super chat. 84 days till Mariner. I'll be driving my car to the port. How will it cost to store it in the garage for 5 nights? I think you're going to Port Canaveral. I'm going to guess. If it's Port Canaveral, you go up to, I don't know what the rate is off the top of my head, the parking rates. But you can find them at the Port Canaveral. You search for Port Canaveral parking at terminal, you'll find the rates over there. I am not sure the rate off the top of my head, man. I don't want to make up numbers here, but you can find it on their website for sure. How early should you go to get to a show to get a good seat? At least 15 or 20 minutes ahead of time. The running track is on deck 5. Shout out to Don and Judy. You guys are amazing. Thank you. There is the running track. Thank you. Also Becky Menken, but Becky, I think you would agree with me that Don and Judy are amazing. So actually, E. Jones and Michael S. got it before Don and Judy, but we love Don and Judy. Tara, thank you for the super chat. Are there any currently sailing royal ships that you haven't been on? Yo, yes. Spectrum, Voyager, Enchantment, Vision. I almost said Icon. It's not true anymore. Ovation. I think that's it. Eric, the ultimate family townhouse is $134,000 for 4 people. 7 days isn't worth it. If you got Becky Menken money, more power to you. Worth it is a very subjective question. Obviously, that is an egregiously high cost. And in the grand scheme of cruising, it's way more than it should. But I actually read an article about this, Eric. I haven't posted it yet. But I kind of basically said, for some people, they want to enjoy the fruits of their labor and kind of enjoy. Can someone tell Jenna I'm still broadcasting? She's hitting me up here for a cruise on to Asia. Anyway, there's for some people, this is not a once in a lifetime, but once in a they work hard, they want to celebrate, they want to do something special for their family, and not to heck with the cost, but they're doing well for themselves and they can afford it. There are people that, $134,000, that's a lot of money to me. I think it's a lot of money to a lot of people. For some people, they may say, well, that's a lot of money. I'm willing to spend it because, baby, you're worth it kind of situation. So is it worth it? From a dollar, will you get $134,000 back in value from like drinks and food? No, of course not. But some people might say, yeah, it is worth it because they want to go big or go home. That sort of mentality for some folks, right? And if they can afford it, more power to them. It's not my thing. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying 6 figures for a cruise, but to each their own there. Let's see here. Is it feasible to take an Uber from Orlando Airport to Port Canaveral? Absolutely, yes. Next question. Uh, Generation Lego. This is a question. We're first timers in Royal Caribbean and Perfect Day CocoCay. How much extra will I be paying there with the whole family? You can go to CocoCay and not spend $1. There are complimentary, free, whatever you want to call it, beaches. There's a free pool. Lunch is included there. The only reason you have to spend extra is if you want to, for like a cabana or access to the water park or the Hideway Beach or the Cocoa Beach Club. But if you're like Matt, I just want to go to the pool, or the beach, have lunch, and enjoy my day. That is complimentary, my friend. Let's see here. Next question. Shooting stars photography. I am on the Icon Inaugural. I have a 3-meal dining plan. When can we book those reservations? Do we have to wait to get on board? I believe so, Wendy. I have a dining package as well, and I've not seen anything yet that's changed. So get on board the ship and make reservations once on board. Will the naming ceremony of Icon be on YouTube or the Royal Caribbean YouTube channel? No, we're not on that sailing. We're on the one before that, so probably not on our channel. I don't know if Royal Caribbean will be live streaming it or not. They probably will. I think they live streamed like the Wonder and the Odyssey. So yeah. DJ Jones, hello and welcome. Am I going to be on the Utopia inaugural? Heck yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm not missing out on a cruise with Warren C. We're almost down at the bottom of the chat, and I'm way over time here, but listen, you guys are amazing. We've had so much great support here. I want to answer as many questions as we can. Josh, going on Independence and Freedom back to back. Love your videos and advice. Very helpful. Does book with a travel agent save you money? Oh, yeah. I mean, the amount of money a good travel agent saved me has been in the tens of thousands of dollars. It's incredible. I think Costco travel is a good idea. Full disclosure, we have an arrangement here with MEI Travel. They're a sponsor, so I just gonna put that out there. I don't. Costco travel. There's 2 problems I have with Costco travel, maybe 3. One, during the pandemic, they disappeared. When there were all those cancellations of the pandemic, there are threads on the message boards. You can find them of people who were just left. Like, what happened to my agent? Because Costco disappeared. Number 2, Costco engages in what's called rebating, which is a practice they're not supposed to do, in which they basically take some of their commission, give it back to you in the form of gift cards, whatever the heck they do there. You lose out on that service. That is the most important thing out there. Number 3, and this one makes no sense at all, Costco doesn't do Royal Up. If you book with Costco, you can't do a Royal Up. Now, granted, I don't recommend Royal Up, but that's just bonkers. Why? Anyway, I don't recommend them. I recommend using a good travel agent who doesn't charge you fees and will actually be there when times get tough, but that's just me. Is Johnny Rockets all you can eat? On most ships, yes. On some ships, they have a la carte version, like Navigator. That's no. But like, on Mariner of the Seas, Freedom of the Seas, yeah, it's all you can eat. Jessica Devoto, does Icon have poolside restaurants? Yes. Base camp is what you're thinking of right there. Next question. Jeffrey, former Disney cruisers here. Allure this week, balcony room, Central Park, noisy. Listen, in the daytime, you're going to hear something in your room. Maybe a little bit murmur more than anything, but noisy, no. And at night, unless you're going to bed at like 7 o'clock at night, you'll have no problems, I don't think at all. Next question. John, Icon is so expensive compared to Oasis. When do you think the prices will come down? I think more than anything, the prices will go up on newer ships that supersede. That's essentially what happens, John. Over the years, as new ships come online, older existing ships, prices tend to go down. So it's all relative, but I mean, if you're expecting like the kind of rates relative to what you're seeing on Oasis now, you're probably talking about a couple of years, quite frankly. And there's always exceptions out there, but look ahead, book as early as you can. A lot of times, especially if you're willing to go during shoulder season, during September and October, the month of January, not this January, but other Januaries, it Might find some better deals out there. Enchanted String, thank you for the super chat. Our team was so excited for your video of Icon. Can't wait to sail on her in April. Thanks for all you do. We appreciate it. You are very welcome. Thank you for your generosity. You are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next question. Are the aqua shows on the 3-night cruise on the ships that have the aqua theme? Are there? Yes, there are. Yes, that's your question. Oh, Kevin, you're very welcome. Listen, you guys are all here. I'm way behind in the chat. I love it. This is a great problem to have. Let us have 1,000 people in here and we're talking cruising together. I love that. I'm not getting all this. I'm trying to get to as many questions as I can, but we're running out of time. We're well over time here. If you've ever been on Symphony of the Seas, how was it, good or bad? Fantastic. It's a great trip for the family. You will love it. Can you use Diamond Plus BOGO for dinner? Yes, you can. Not all restaurants accept it, but most do. Anthony, how long does the sale last before the cruise to book excursions, Wi-Fi packages, etc.? Up to 48 hours beforehand. Don't wait, Anthony. The price only, book it now, lock in the price. If there's a better rate, Anthony, between now and your cruise date, you can always cancel the rebook with no penalty for those pre-cruise purchase items. Momo Girl, is getting a deal on the Icon not an option because it's new? To some extent, yes. You're paying a premium for going on a new ship, bottom line. But if you book out well in advance, if you look for the cruises maybe in 25, over in the fall maybe, relatively speaking, you'll get better deals out there. But you got to be strategic about it, quite frankly. Car Wash Channel, thank you again for the super chat. Is there an icon? Is there a Johnny Rockets on Icon of the Seas? There is not. When are you going on Wonder of the Seas? Spring break, I'll be on Wonder of the Seas. When do you think Royal Caribbean will retire the Vision class ships? I think when the market for used cruise ships bounces back. During the pandemic, Warwick, the resale market was non-existent. And I think when they feel like they can get a good value out of it, they will do that. How did Adventure Ocean look on Icon? Any big changes? Big is that it was very spread out. They have touch tunes in there. I was surprised. There were at least 2 touch tunes in Adventure Ocean and 1 in the teen. No, there were 2 in the teen club. I think I have that backwards. 1 in Adventure Ocean, 2 in the teen club. That's one of the big things I noticed there. But very big, they always dedicate more and more space there. Can kids get crown and anchor points? Absolutely. Sergio, thank you for the super chat. No question, just a fan of your channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And I think, guys, we have run well out of time. We are 15 minutes over our allocated time. Thank you for joining us here. We'll be back in next Monday on Icon of the Seas. So keep an eye out for that one. We'll have some more content coming for you in the meantime. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. We'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.